Hey friends, I'd like to take a moment just to talk about one of the most significant and precious experiences any of us can ever have. I want to talk about Holy Communion. As we approach this special season, and of course we're doing so with a little bit more of a struggle as we're social distancing, it's one of those moments as a pastor that I miss extremely a great deal. I even wanted to just show you the communion tray. It's empty, and there's something about that just tugs at my heart today, because this is so important for us to honor. Jesus commanded us to do this in remembrance of me. That's what Jesus's words were. And so I want to just take a moment, not just because it's the Holy Week that's coming, but I challenge you during this whole time that we're struggling together at social distancing and sheltering at home and in place, that we would cherish something that Jesus asked us to do, and that's remember what he did on the cross for us. And I'm going to challenge you. I want you to prepare for this. As much as you and I would make that grocery run to make sure our favorite snack or favorite cereal, no, I won't mention that, but we all have those special things that we like to make sure we get. Would you take an extra moment to try to make sure you would honor the Lord's Supper and try to find as close as you can something that would represent our tradition in honoring the elements of the bread and the cup. Now, I just showed you, like the other day, I was planning ahead because I wanted to make sure we do this in our home, not just for Easter season, but anytime. And so just finding some grape juice, and this one in particular is 100%. And unfortunately, we may not have all the little self-contained communion packets or the bread that we have in the little wafers, but would you just take a moment, because it's going to be significant as you gather, whether you're by yourself or whether you're a couple that is restricted from your family at this season, or maybe you have your family and your children, that you make this momentous, that this is important for you and your family, and you're honoring what God has called us to do. And I know there's times people have used different items to serve as elements, but I know that you need to still be careful, because it is Holy Communion. You never want to take this in such a way that would bring something wrong upon your life. And the scripture is very clear. And so I encourage you, dads, men of the home. The Old Testament showed that the spiritual leader of the home would lead in the Seder, or the Passover meal. And I encourage you to do that in honoring communion. Lead your family in a simple way. Turn to 1 Corinthians chapter 11 and read the little portion of scripture of what we do on a regular basis at church together. You can do that. Take a moment to honor what Jesus did, and remember the bread and the cup, obviously representing his body and his blood. You say, Pastor, all we have is goldfish and Gatorade. You know what? Be careful. You can plan for this. Now, at the same time, if I was in the underground church in China, or maybe a Christian believer in the midst of a Middle Eastern setting, that if people knew that I was a believer, they would possibly kill me. If this was the last night of my life and I was looking for something to be able to honor the Lord in communion, yes, I think there's totally opportunity for exceptions. But the motive that's pure in taking the communion elements is critical, and the atmosphere you set as the leader of that moment is also critical. So I just encourage you, let it be, yes, a time where your family is understanding and explaining what it means, but cherish the moment and pray together and let God change your life. Enjoy Holy Communion together. God bless you.